Oh, hey, weirdos, it's me, Daniel.
And his brother, Jake. Guest D8.
Yeah, I guess you're my date tonight.
Date, yeah.
So, just a question to our weirdos. I didn't move the mic around that time for our intro. Was it any better?
That sounded pretty good to me.
Yeah.
It sounded very stable.
Yeah, well.
Now I'm in the camp, the fishing camp at the Miramichi,
Yeah.
and I'm using my laptop, and I've got like headphones, and I can hear you through the headphones, but it's the Britney Spears style headset with a little microphone dongle. But the microphone doesn't work on the headset. So this is the laptop speaker or microphone that I'm coming in through. So it's probably going to sound, frankly, terrible.
Well, I mean, we're used to it.
And you won't hear my nose whistle like you did the last time I had to use this headset.
I'm sure that we will. I'm sure
bad.
that there's still a very good chance that we will hear the nose whistle. There are some things that we just cannot avoid.
Yeah.
I have had an uneventful life. Nothing has happened.
Well, no, you're in Australia. They've got what's going. Oh, you know
Wow.
what happened last time after the podcast? People were mad at us.
Yeah. Well,
as usual.
I mean, just the one people.
If you're expecting a good podcast,
You've
this
come
is
to the wrong
probably
place.
not the right. This is not the right podcast for you. But people were mad at us because we didn't give a good balanced opinion about
The vaccines.
vaccinations and stuff.
Yeah.
We're
Whatever.
sorry. We don't present a balanced argument. We're not intelligent.
We're not balanced individuals. we're not balanced. We're unbalanced.
So we're not. We don't tell people what to believe. Do your own thing. We're very.
Yeah, you do you. That's what I say. Because there's very little that I
if you're a
actually have
weirdo
power
listening to this podcast, we're fans of yours. So just do your thing and
Just do, and I mean, do whatever's going to keep you healthy because there's very few of you out there. So
I know if we lost, for instance, if we lost one fan, we would be out of fans.
Here's to you, Lisa.
Yeah, we're trying to keep you alive. That's all. We care about you.
I put up some blinds. Okay, well, look, I'm not I am a DIYer, but I'm not a good DIYer. Oh,
right.
Look at you, Mr. Profesh.
Can you hear the ding? God damn.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
I
It's okay.
don't-
You've
you
only
know
got
what?
one
If I
friend.
get more messages, I can't fix it.
Yeah, no one's going to text you. I am cheap is the main thing about me.
Right.
And our dog, who has severe separation anxiety, he's on Prozac, and he's also on, I don't know if they have it in the
Whatever other pills of yours he gets into.
Trazodone. Do they use Trazodone in human life?
Yeah,
medicine?
I mean, it's Zopiclone. They use it to get people to sleep. Trazodone is an antipsychotic,
Yeah. Well, that's what he's
I
on.
believe.
As well as Prozac, because every time we leave the house, he goes absolutely berserk. Like, this is a dog that sleeps.
Which one is this? What dog
This
is this?
Slim.
The Whippet?
Slim, yeah. The other two, like blind Susan wouldn't be able to find her way to anywhere to ruin. And the other one
Right.
weighs 3 kilograms, so not a lot.
Like, if the blind one is in a constant state of high anxiety, I don't care because
No.
she can't ruin anything. She can't
that's
see
right.
it.
That's right. I mean, she probably is.
I don't care if they suffer. I care if my couch gets ruined.
No, he doesn't. He's looking for a way out, so he's not ruining like.
He's
the furniture.
suicidal.
He's
He's a
trying
suicidal
to.
whippet.
He's trying to get out, and he's like he chewed through every single window blind that we have. So
Oh, sorry, out of the house. I thought
Yeah,
you
he's
meant
trying to get out of the
like,
house,
his
so-
mortal coil.
no, like every blind on every window that we have is destroyed. Then I mean, yeah, blind Susan. She kind of, the creepy crawly that you have in your pool.
Yeah.
That's how she gets around. So,
She
you know,
just kind of bumps into things.
bumps into
until
something and then
she finds a
changes
corner.
direction. Yeah.
She's like a Roomba.
Yeah, she is Roomba. Yeah. Yeah, she is Roomba. So she doesn't really do a whole lot. The other one just kind of hides under Alice's bed all day. But Slim, for some reason, he does an absolute number on these, on the blinds. And he tried to chew through the door. Anyway, so we've saved for a few weeks so we could then fix the blinds. And I'm not putting blinds up again because he'll just chew them again. So I put roller blinds up. Like, you know, it's just a sheet
The
of
ones
fabric.
you pull and they like slide up to the top. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put those up, and I, of course, got the cheapest ones that exist at Bunnings, which is like the home hardware of Australia, basically.
The only thing I know about Bunnings is that you told somebody they were well endowed at Bunnings.
Yes. Endowed. I still think that was gold.
That's a good joke.
So I put these ones up in Alice's room because, you know, she's getting older. She's going to want some privacy at stage in her life. She was like, I don't care, Dad. And I was like, I do. So
yeah.
I
want to see it. Once you have armpit hair, I don't want to see it anymore. Basically, I'll feed you at mealtime and then go away. Just go away.
Yeah. So I put these ones up. They were the cheapest ones that they had. This, you know, it was $57, but that's pretty cheap in the world of like window dressings. So I put.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Here's the thing about these blinds that I put up. They don't roll. So it's basically like I've got a roll of fabric at the top of a window, and that's it.
Oh.
That's it.
That's what $57 gets you.
Yeah. So I
bought two 4x4s. You know what a 4x4 is? You know, a 2x4 is a piece of wood. A 4x4 is just like a square piece of wood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got two of them today. It was, what was it, Chrissy? For the two pieces of wood, like $86.
Mm.
Yeah, it was like well over $80 for two pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Yeah. Are you talking to me
Kill
or are you talking to somebody else?
I don't know. I've had a few drinks.
I really just can't tell who this conversation is directed at.
Turning into our
It's like when someone
uncle.
with a walleye is talking to you and you're like, is there someone behind me?
Are they looking at me? Or are they looking at somebody behind me?
I have my laundry
Who's that
done.
guy waving to? I'm not going to wave back in case it's not
I
you.
had a housefrau when I first moved to Australia. Mum put me in share accommodation because she thought I would be lonely. And it scarred me for life.
That was the epileptic?
The epileptic, yeah. Her mother had a walleye to the point where, you know, it was old blue eyes, one blue west and one blue east, you know.
Yeah.
She was talking and she said, have you got, you know, do you need any laundry done? And I looked behind me and there was no one there. She was talking directly to me.
Are you my laundry?
Yeah. She was like, well, I did say Daniel.
Yeah. Well, listen, as long as we cross the T's and dot the lowercase j's.
Yeah.
That was a joke from Wayne's World 2. Wayne's World 2, everybody.
Oh, dear. Anyway, yeah, you had two 4x4s.
Yeah. So
2x4x4s.
we came up to the camp, and it's like, you know, that sad time of the year when you got to, like, everything's got to go away for the winter, right? So I have to flip the boats upside down so that they're sitting on, you know, wood instead of just sitting on the ground, or they'll get all rotted from the ground and they'll rust and shit.
Never did that. You're the first in the family to do that.
If you remember us having to constantly bail the boat, that's because there were holes in it from the rust. Anyway, so you get these 4x4s and you flip the boat over onto those. We're just preparing sort of to, you know, for the winter. What I did was I had a driveway installed in our camp that looks like...
I just want to interject just for 1 second. Just if you're listening, now would be the time to put it on 2 times speed. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Back in my day, nickels used to have bees on them.
Do you know what?
5 bees to a quarter, we'd say.
Do you know what wood is? Oh.
Just
Have you heard of
recycling jokes.
dimensions of wood? Well, anyway, you put the boats on wood. Yes.
Okay, speaking of that, I saw this.
God.
There was this joke. Sorry, there was a joke when I was a kid. I don't know if it's a joke or not, but there was a book called Identifying Wood, and somebody had, captioned it because the picture on the cover of the boat or of the book, oh my lord, was a picture of a of a guy looking at a table, and somebody had captioned it. Yep, it's wood. Every time I think of it, it's so funny. Anyway. Anyway, so we're packing up to leave. I was getting the wood. I was getting everything ready, and I said, well, we'll take Jack fishing one last time. Because he and Chrissy are up for the weekend. So I took Jack in my dinky plastic boat. Do you remember... I specifically remember somebody telling me it was a death trap.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so...
You might want to point yourself back towards the computer.
Oh, is it getting faint?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was leaning back in my chair as I was reminiscing about my 4x4s. As I smoke my pipe in my evening outfit.
Those days we used to tie an onion to our belt. Now, we didn't have any of the purple onions because of the war. Anyway, where was I? The boat, yeah. So I took Jack up fishing. There's a public pool called the 66 up pretty close to us. And the funny story about the 66, another divergence here, is that the guy who owns the house next to the 66 is this dude named Rodney. And he's got this dog named Jack with a giant set of balls that hangs underneath it. And I call him Big Sack Jack. Uh-huh. And I heard this story about Rodney beating the bejesus out of somebody. And so I haven't had the sack myself to park at his house without asking permission. And he works in Alberta. So I always go up in the boat. Anyway, so Jack wanted to fish. It's fall salmon season, but the water's super high. Very unlikely to catch a fish. The water's really deep here right now. I said, well, fuck it. We'll go up to the 66. We'll give it a try. And so we got in my dinky plastic boat, the death trap, and we went up and we fished for the evening. And it was getting quite dark, and I said, oh, it's probably time to head home. We got in the boat on the way home, and he said, I want to stop one more time to fish. We pulled up in a little fishing spot, fished a little bit more. It got like pitch black, and then got back going towards home, and I hit something with the boat. I hit something with the propeller. Hit, I think, a tree that was submerged in the water because the water's so high. And it yanked the fucking motor out of my hand, the tiller of the motor.
That's the handle.
Pulled it right out of my hand.
With the throttle.
The handle, where the throttle is. Yeah.
That's what a tiller is.
And my hand, when it pulled out of my hand, it went to full throttle. And it got locked, turned all the way to the side. And we turned, and water started coming in the back corner of the boat.
It's like bumper boats.
And I was in the back, and
circa 1995.
Very much so. And I fell out of my seat, and I landed in the stern of the boat where the gas tank is.
That's the back.
And and my head and my arms went in the water behind me, and my feet went in the water in front of me, and the motor got stuck.
Wait,
like
your head
with
and
me
arms
underneath
went
it.
in the water behind you.
Yeah, okay, this boat.
Your feet went in
keep
the water
in mind the boat
in
is
front of you. So were you splayed
the boat is
over the corner?
2 feet wide. Yeah, I was splayed over the stern of the boat. I was completely
useless
in the water with my fat upper body in the side that was down, like lowest to the water. So So the boat started turning in this really tight circle at full speed, and water was pouring in. And my hand, my pinky finger on my hand that was in the water, hit the fucking prop of the motor as it was going by. It hit it 3 times, bing, 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 like that. And I took this, and we're wearing waders. I mean, the important part of the story is actually that we're wearing waders with no wader belts, and like if you go in, you're sinking.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to survive. It's like 15. We did have life vests on, but I mean, the weight of the water, Jack would have been definitely pulled down, right? And his life vest is an adult size. Anyway, I'm a fucking retard is part of it.
Well,
but
we don't say that.
my-
We don't say retard anymore.
Yeah, I'm a dev.
Yeah, we say
Sorry,
dev.
I'm a dev. Yeah, which means developmentally challenged, like a retard would be. Anyway,
No, that's not, it's just dev.
just dev. Anyway, as a dev, I had him in the wrong size life jacket, and
It's a dev move.
and I felt myself going in, and I thought I'm going to take a deep breath, and then I'll hold my breath as long as I can and try and swim him to the side before I drown, because we were both going to drown. There was no way out of it. And the boat was coming over.
Spoiler
I felt
alert.
that
Spoiler
last-
alert.
You know,
They didn't drown.
I'm still alive. Yeah. But you know that last second when a horrible accident is in the process of happening and you feel like it's past the point of no return? I was at that second for about 4 seconds, and I thought, what the hell is going on? And then I looked, and Jack had somehow climbed onto the side of the boat that was up in the air, and like just totally out of instinct, was like hiked over the side, pulling us back down into the water just enough that we didn't flip completely, we didn't turtle. And it gave me enough time to reach up with my hand that hadn't been hit by the propeller and push the tiller straight so that the boat kind of came up, and I was lying across it. I looked like a complete moron. With my ass way down in the, like I was out of control completely. But somehow he managed to do that just enough that we were able to kind of save the situation. But when I got the boat upright, it was completely full of water. It probably had, I would guess, 1,000 pounds of water in a 12-foot boat.
So sadly, you had
so
to
I limped
sacrifice
it.
Jack to get home. So he's
I was like,
he is in the river
Sorry,
somewhere. Sorry, this boat is not
this
replaceable.
boat can only take 300 pounds.
We can always have another
You're
kid.
going to have to go. Yeah. This boat is carrying the most precious cargo in my life.
Me.
My fly rod.
Oh.
Anyway, we limped back, and the whole time we were going back, because I'd felt the propeller hit my hand, I didn't dare look at my hand.
Yeah.
I knew it hurt, but I was like, my finger's gone, but I can't look at it until we get in because I'll throw up. Like I know it's bad. I just don't know how bad it is. And so I was in shock, you know, that feeling like where you know something hurts, but you don't dare look at it. Anyway, we pulled in to the beach, and Jack got out, and I was like, I glanced at my hand, and I was like, oh my God, the finger is still there. It wasn't even bleeding.
Yeah.
So I kind of
Far
was
be it
like,
for you to be
this
dramatic.
was a miracle. No, I know. I'm very dramatic. But
My finger
I
was
said,
definitely
this-
missing, but it was only a chipped nail.
It was still attached. Well, yeah, that's basically what it was. It was 3 nicks on my skin. So I just like had brushed the edge of the prop, but I guess it was spinning so
So
fast.
I
just
went,
pushed my
I
hand
went back
away,
in
you
the
know what I
boat
mean?
over to the trailer park next door and got a Band-Aid. And then,
Yeah.
then I came home.
Oh, the trailer park next door. Anyway, so I was totally joyous. I was like, I can't believe Jack saved our lives. This was divine intervention. I can't believe any of this happened. Our boat was full of water and still made it to the beach. Like, complete miracle. Anyway, we're laughing about it and was talking to Chrissy about it and stuff. And then I looked down at my hand again, and I realized my finger's way shorter than the other side. So I probably broke the middle phalanx or whatever
dislocated
and
it
crushed
or
it
something.
shorter. Yeah, it's I can still bend it and stuff. It really hurts.
Maybe you've
But,
always been deformed.
Anyway, no, I think it's pretty swollen. It was
I think
really weird.
now I will not get into a boat because Dad lost his finger in a boat. You've damaged your finger in a boat.
I can't believe I kept my finger.
No thanks.
I can't believe it's still attached.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was one of those funny things. It was like, I was sure. It was that moment of like, we're past the point of no return, take a deep breath. And that lasted for like 1, 2, 3. And I was like, I can't believe I'm not in the water yet. And then we had time to save it. It was just a crazy, crazy situation.
Crazy.
Anyway, that's
Indeed.
my story.
Near drowning.
I don't know what it had to do with buying the 4x4s.
What the fuck happens with the 4x4s? You put them under the boat.
I put them on the lawn. They're on the lawn. They were expensive. That was the point. That's
Wow.
part of the story. I don't know. 2 unrelated incidents.
Zowie.
I've been having a liberal helping of single malt
You know,
scotch
I'm a bit ashamed of myself. I don't drink. I'm not a drinking guy. But Aaron bought.
You're not a drunkard.
I'm not a wino.
I'm not some lazy wino.
Aaron
some
bought
wino in the gutter.
Aaron bought. They have these premixed drinks here. I don't think they have them back home. They kind of do, but like they'll have rum and cokes in a can. Like they
Bundaberg rum.
Yeah.
Is this like the dark and stormy
kind
Bundaberg?
of. But this is pink gin and soda. But then they must just add a ton of sugar water to it.
Yeah.
It is delicious. So anyway, I bought my own pink gin because ain't nobody paying those prices.
Because you're like, I got a soda stream.
Question: do you have a soda stream?
I don't. I would like one.
Well, I just don't think
I asked for one for Christmas. Chrissy said it would clutter up the kitchen.
it does. And mine doesn't make the drinks fizzy. Like it.
So it just mixes drink flavor and regular water.
No, not even that. Like I put just plain water in there, and then it does make it a little bit tingly. But like you want that little bite.
I want it to make me burp.
Yeah, this does not.
Like,
it's
that's not good.
yeah,
enough.
it's rubbish.
It's like Guinness level of carbonation.
yeah,
to
and
me.
you can feel like you can
Oh, fuck
taste
that.
that it's got carbonic acid in it from the carbon dioxide. Like so, it changes the
Yeah.
flavor of the water, but it doesn't make it like fizzy. And I don't know whether it's me or not.
I don't know. The ones I've watched, like I watch a YouTube channel that is about how to make your own scotch.
I watch the SodaStream YouTube channel where it's just a guy
No, no.
putting carbon dioxide into water.
I watch this channel about distilling scotch. I don't know. I get into all these technical things. It's like, you know how I am with hobbies. You know how you were with making jewelry. You get into it to the point that it's no longer interesting.
Yeah.
I did that with distillation when Dad and I got the air kettle or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Good night, Chrissy. I'll be up in a bit. Anyway, we, I got really into it. I was like looking at how everything works and, the chemistry of it and everything. Anyway, this channel is about these 2 guys who make scotch in their Austin, Texas, distillery or whatever.
Yeah.
And they got a soda stream to try carbonated scotch.
Oof.
Apparently it's really good, but it looked really fizzy. Like it looked like it would fizz over
Mine is
when
not.
you
I don't know what I'm doing
open a bottle.
wrong.
Maybe it's broken.
I don't think so. It's literally just a nozzle that blows carbon dioxide into water. It's,
But how does that fizz it up? Doesn't it need like some way of like
pressurizing it? Maybe.
pressurizing?
Yeah,
it?
maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'll read.
Because if you just blow carbon dioxide in, but it doesn't put it under pressure, then it's not going to dissolve in the water. You need pressure to make it dissolve, and then when you depressurize it, that's when it starts fizzing.
I know. Maybe I'll read the instructions.
Oh, there was a gasket missing.
That would be a good way to kill someone, I reckon, because that CO2 comes out at quite a velocity. So if you like somehow put that into someone's orifice, Like, I thought about, like, just putting my mouth over the, the nozzle. You would just explode, I reckon.
Like a James Bond film.
Yeah.
Do you remember a TV show called Kenny versus Spenny?
Yes, but
This
I
is
never.
Canadian
I don't
content,
think
but-
I ever watched it. Oh,
It was
yeah, it was stupid.
it was pretty funny. They had some really funny episodes. There was one when they had to accomplish something, and Kenny put LSD in the orange juice in their fridge, and how much of it was staged and how much of it was real? It certainly seemed real because it showed Spenny. Oh yeah, they had to keep fish alive or something, and he got an octopus, and he ends up like wearing it on his head and taking it to the beach and rolling around in his own shit. It was very much similar to my experience with
Oh,
hallucinogens.
jeez.
Anyway,
I'm such a wuss. Friends of mine do microdosing with psilocybin, and
I wouldn't want to. I don't want to open that door.
well, I just don't
You know.
want to experience anything that potentially could make me feel ill.
Well, that too. But they're like, man, it opens doors in your mind. I'm like, those doors are closed for a reason. Don't open those doors. What the fuck is wrong?
Turns out I do like murder.
Man, we're gonna instigate a race war, brother.
Kill Whitey.
Kill Whitey. Oh fuck! I got called an angry white man today.
Well, you are. I mean, that's called
But
an
those are
observation.
unrelated. I'm not angry because I'm a white man.
I was angry, and you are white.
This was the funny thing.
These 4x4s are too expensive. Calm down, angry white man.
Chill out, angry white man. And fuck out of here with your whiteness.
Have
and your
some
madness.
psilocybin, brother.
Yeah. No, nobody that wants to be your brother when you're a white man. They just want to be. They want you to feel pain. Anyway, this is on.
When's it our turn? When's it our turn?
Our turn passed, but it was before we were born. So fuck. Bad luck for us. Not that I want to go back to those times. I just, we all want to be equal.
Look, I don't want to share the water fountain with anyone.
This is going to sound bad, but I don't want you using my water fountain.
I don't want
do you
anyone using
mean?
my water fountain.
It's not. It's because I'm a germaphobe. It has nothing.
It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It's all to do with my selfishness.
Yeah. I mean, there's COVID-19. I just, I think the water fountain should be in.
Have you seen? Do you watch Parks and Recreation?
No,
Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen. I saw the first episode.
There is.
I really like Chris Pratt a lot.
There is this episode where I don't know what's happening, but like it's flu season or there's some germ that's going around in a specific area of Pawnee, and they work it out that it's people using water fountains, and they've never been shown how to use the water fountain, and they get Chris Pratt's character to demonstrate how to use a water fountain, and he puts his entire mouth over the spout and the little guard and everything and just sucks on it.
That's so weird because you and I weren't talking about it, but Chrissy and I were talking about it because Jack has never had a water fountain in his school. He's like post-water fountain.
They still have them
But
here.
we were telling him about, well, now they have a thing that you fill up your water
Yeah,
bottle with.
no, they still have the
But
same old.
it's not a fountain.
No, they still have the same old water fountains here.
But when I used to drink out of the water fountain, I put my mouth right down to the nozzle and sucked because remember the little water spout would get smaller and smaller over time, and then you'd end up with the porcelain water fountains that looked like a toilet
Oof.
with the little chrome mouthpiece. Why would they have a mouthpiece if they don't want you to put your mouth
Oh,
on it?
far
Anyway,
out. I can't.
and it would just dribble out. Water would dribble out. So I would like turn on the water and then put my lips over the nozzle and suck on
one
it.
of my things,
Like-
I've got a few things.
Like I was trying to earn a $5 bill.
I've got many things that is wrong with me,
Yeah.
but one of them is this paralyzing fear of lip herpes. And I think it's because of my innate vanity that I don't deserve because I'm fat, but I just feel like if I had a raging case of lip herpes, it would just make me that much less attractive. So that is like my biggest fear. So I'm like, I tell the kids, do not use the water bubblers. They call them bubblers here. Don't use the water bubblers. Just take take a cup, you fill it up in the kitchen sink, whatever. Just don't. I couldn't imagine. But I do remember using those. And I remember that you would push the little bar and you would hear the refrigeration start up. And you could.
Oh, those were the good ones.
Yeah.
The brown ones.
Yeah, the brown ones, they were good. They were probably full of fungus and mold on the inside.
Yeah, and then of course the foreign exchange students thought they were a bidet and washed their asses in them. But I mean, other than that,
well, we go to the parks here. The barbecue culture is huge here. So they have barbecues in every park, like public barbecues that will either use electricity or natural gas, and you can just go up under a little gazebo and use the barbecue whenever you want. They'll have tons of them.
Yeah,
I will not use
There's
them.
a park here that kind of.
I won't use them because I'm sure that the homeless shit on them. Like, why wouldn't you? And
why would you shit on a barbecue?
why wouldn't you? Fuck the.
You have a thing about homeless people and turds.
Well, not even homeless people. Just
you
like
had
people
a theory that they carried them around in their pockets.
They do that. They do that.
Why would
and
they?
You know what really?
Why would they do that?
You know what really boils my piss? Hotel kettles.
Heat. There was an Office episode where Kevin, the big guy in the office, he was on his feet all day at Jim and Pam's wedding, and he was like, "My dogs are barking," and he put them in the ice machine. And I was like, I've seen shit like that happen, and I've never thought about it in the context of like getting the ice out of the ice machine at the hotel. But yep, that shit does happen. I had, when I was a kid, for 1 year in elementary school, we had a foreign exchange student from Vietnam in our Vietnam? I think so. Anyway, she was in our, I'm trying to remember what her
somewhere
name was.
Around there.
If it ended in NG, and those were the only two letters. No, it was Vietnam. Anyway, she came to our class, and I remember like they did this introduction and stuff. It was everybody was like pretty good about it and all that stuff. And then I went to the bathroom at recess, and she came into the men's bathroom and pulled her pants down and had a poop in the urinal.
Oh no!
And I was like, "What am I watching now?" And then it was just like, this is how it goes. I poop in things that look like this.
This is clearly going to haunt me for the next 35 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about 6 at the time, and I'm 41 now. Yep, 35 years.
That's
35 years later, I still think of that person having a poop in our urinal.
That's unlucky.
And like, I was having a pee, and I just kind of watched this happen. And then she washed her hands very, very professional-like and left. And I was like, now there's a poop in the urinal. And I'm not going to tell anyone. I don't want her to be embarrassed. She's new. I remember thinking that.
And then it was target practice for the next 3 weeks for boys who needed to pee.
No, you know what? There was actually, they did a school announcement about what urinals are for. And I guess they handled it as best they could. I think they thought that somebody was pulling a prank.
Oh.
But I alone
you had inside
knew
knowledge.
the truth about who pooped in the urinal, and it was a girl from Vietnam. just kind of, the bathrooms looked like the hole, like more like a hole in the floor.
The Girl from Vietnam sounds like a really nice song that you could write, but we all know what the
and everybody would think you're talking about that girl who had her clothes burned off by napalm, but I was talking about the girl who pooped in her urinal.
Oh no.
Yeah, you'll never be number 2 to me. Anyway, I didn't mean that to be racist. I was just like, that actually happened. So sometimes reality can be a little bit racist, and it's not my fault. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, that's not. I mean, that's not.
Oh yeah,
racist.
the lady who
That's
accused me of being a white man, angry white man. This is speaking of me being a racist. This I wasn't trying to be, but so the 30th of September was the first ever, the inaugural Truth and Reconciliation
Oh
Day,
yes, yeah.
where we're supposed to, we had the genocide and I'm not sure it's like full blown genocide like they had in Africa and stuff.
Oh my.
What am I even trying? Romeo Dallaire. That whole situation was a little more.
I don't know that
of what I
story,
think
but
of when I think of
we can
genocide.
skip over it probably.
The Hutus and the Tutsis. It was a mess. Anyway, but we did have the residential schools, and a lot of kids they died because of that, and so we kind of have to take responsibility.
They died because of that.
Well, they got tuberculosis because we put them in these fucking institutions.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't
idiots.
think that
we were idiots.
Yeah.
Our ancestors were.
I mean,
idiots.
it's really
But-
they literally made this part of our heritage in that commercial where they were like, "We're taking over this village." So
yeah.
it's not
Anyway.
it's not like a secret. It happened.
This was real. Anyway, it was horrible. But so Trudeau, he's got to look woke, right? Like he's always got to be the wokest of the woke. So he said, we are going to have a holiday, which I was thinking, another holiday? And it was like for truth and reconciliation. Like it's Remembrance Day kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a very somber occasion. So it's like, whatever. I didn't get it off. I worked. So that was what I did for Truth and Reconciliation Day. I worked. But Trudeau didn't work. For his first annual Truth and Reconciliation Day, he went fucking surfing in Tofino
Yeah,
and got
he's
caught.
an asshole though. Like
He is the biggest asshole in the world. So
no,
all that I said,
no, there are bigger assholes, but he's
no, I mean,
think
yeah,
he's
you're right. You're right.
stupid.
They're bigger
He's
assholes.
just
There's
stupid.
like Hitler level assholes.
Yeah, he's just dumb.
But that's not asshole. That's sociopath. He's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's stupid.
Anyway,
The problem is he's dumb.
I'm sorry. If you're a fan and you're a Trudeau fan, well, like I said, we don't always give balance. But anyway, so Justin went surfing on this holiday for reconciliation that he had called for. And so all I did was point out that that's pretty shady.
He was in disguise,
like,
though. He was dressed as a black man.
It's not much of a disguise anymore. Everybody, I thought he was black for about 6 months. There's so many pictures of him. No. But, he had this, he went on this vacation. So I pointed out this hypocrisy, right? And this lady commented, "Oh, just another angry white man. Who gives a fuck what you think?"
Oh, this
I
is
was
a
like-
Twitter troll that called you an angry white man.
This was a Twitter troll, Twitter person.
Oh.
And I said, well, hold on. I said, you can call me whatever you want. It reflects more on you than it does me. But I'm not the one who called for a national fucking holiday for truth and reconciliation and decided to go surfing.
we have.
Head
Are
off.
you gone?
So it's
He's
not
gone.
like you're... No? Oh, no.
It's okay.
Oh,
I don't know whether that was a natural pause.
It's slow.
I don't know if
No.
that was a natural pause where you just completely went mute.
I'm watching all this, like, all these sound files quickly sliding up and down on the...
Oh.
This may not work.
Mm-mm.
Oh, shit.
Dum dum.
Bad news. Bad news. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll just keep going, I guess. I've got a 500 millisecond delay, so this is going to be quality podcast.
Well, we'll probably
Anyway,
just be
I'm just
talking
saying,
over each other. Actually allergic to the sun?
I'm allergic to vagina.
Oh.
I'd take the sun any day.
You're allergic to vagina. I get all swollen
I
Get all
I
swelled
gotta
up.
wash up. I gotta wash up in the sink, do a gentleman's wash, as you called it.
Yes.
Or else I'm gonna be covered in hives the next day.
That's unlucky.
So, I got bigger problems than what color somebody's skin is. I'm allergic to vagina. It's fucking hell.
Literally.
I'm also allergic to jalapeno. That's fucking hell. I'm allergic to jalapeno, which was my favorite flavor,
No.
and I'm allergic to vagina, which is my favorite pastime.
No.
So next, I'll be allergic to fucking audiobooks, and then I'll have nothing to live for.
I'm going on a trip not next week, but the week after, to a rural area with one of the reps for my company. And
What, on purpose?
yeah,
No,
so
I'm
we
just
don't have to
kidding.
share a
Yeah,
room
yeah,
or anything,
rural
but we
areas
are
are-
sharing a car. And there's going to be like a few hours that we have to spend in the car, in one go. And he was like, "What kind of audiobooks do you listen to? What are you listening to?" So he was very good at preempting the fact that we're going to have some awkwardness in the car for these long trips. So
Yeah.
we're going to pick an audiobook and start it afresh. He hasn't listened to
You
two.
get to pick one audiobook and one Sirius XM channel. You're like, I think for audiobooks, I'll pick The Old Man and the Sea. And for my Sirius XM channel, I'll pick the Playboy channel.
Do they have that?
Yeah.
We don't have satellite radio here. That was completely missed on us. I think rightfully so, because it came at similar time to like Spotify and stuff. So why would you pay for satellite radio when you can just put on the, comedy
Spotify
radio
or
on Spotify?
The this podcast, interestingly, my side of this podcast is actually brought to you by the Tesla Starlink internet. I just installed that.
No, did you really?
Yeah, so I'm at the camp, right? So we had ExploreNet, which is the local solution, but I think they only had like 3 satellites.
Wow.
So you could easily run out of signal pretty quickly. I'm sure they have more than that.
You've got
I don't want to
Starlink
dissuade
on
you
your-
from using.
On your
So I
camp.
got Starlink. I bought the dish. It's
Apparently
called
it's very
Dishy
easy to
McDish
install.
Face or something. It actually was, except for one thing. You have to drill a hole in the side of your cabin
or on the
and
just
run
on the ceiling, on the roof.
Well, my roof is metal,
So
and you can't install it on the roof. You have to this thing has legs, and you have to put it on the lawn, and the dish moves around and looks
Yeah.
for the satellite
Yeah.
signal, right? So eventually I'd like to put it up on the roof, but for now it's on the lawn. Anyway, I had to drill a hole in the wall in order to get the thing installed, and so the hole size is actually quite big because the cord has a big I don't even know what they're called, but it's like a big round cylindrical thing on it that has to pass through the hole. So I had to drill a 7/8 inch hole or whatever, and then caulk all around it.
Yeah.
I had to wipe caulk on my wall. Anyway,
not the first time.
yeah. So the first hole I drilled, this is a log cabin. I hit the fucking spike that holds the wall
Of course
together.
you did.
It's a 7/8 inch hole in a 40-foot long wall, and I hit the one fucking spike that's in the wall.
It's unlucky.
So then I had to drill a second hole. I just filled them both with caulk. I don't know. put the caulk in the hole.
Funnily, you're not
don't
allergic
know.
to that.
Put the caulk in a hole, take a Benadryl, and go to bed.
Yeah, that's
Well,
unlucky. But yeah, that's,
so,
that's
anyway.
interesting. And does it work better than the other one?
Well, if you can hear me, it's working better.
Yeah.
We'll see how this comes out. When you know how sometimes, like when we're having the conversation, it sounds normal to us.
Yeah.
But then, do you remember Vlad the Inhaler when we had the Vlad?
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck was the guy's name?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Wallachia.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the country. Anyway, when we listened back to it, our conversation got off by like 2 seconds. So I'd be talking, you'd be responding, but it was totally out of sync. It sounded like shit. This one is much like, if it's like that, then you'll know that Elon Musk is full of shit. But if it sounds normal, then you'll know that we're going to Mars, baby.
Have you seen the Starlink satellites in the sky before?
Yeah, you can see them from here.
Man, it
You can see
is
them pretty
eerie
clearly.
and weird. I love it.
Well, the trail of like
Yeah.
50 lights.
Yeah, that's so
following each other.
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't.
Yeah, it's neat that you can actually change the night sky if you have enough money. I think I'd like to blow up the fucking moon.
I fucking hate the high tides
You
here.
know what? No, nobody's getting sleep. Tide keeps changing. Fucking blow it up.
I was on TikTok and someone
I started a business.
they're going to use the tides in the Bay of Fundy to start generating electricity. I think that's kind of exciting.
Okay, this is quite funny. I'm just pouring myself another scotch here.
It sounds like you need one.
I hope I don't throw up. Well, I had, it's quite a day. So, Liftoff Capital, right? Like Dad and I started this company, and my friend Peter Oxley. So Liftoff was, it's all about matching, startup businesses to investors.
Yeah.
And our idea was to come up with like a few fake companies before we did the real company, like to pitch it, right? So you're like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
like Shark
this is
Tank.
what it would look like. One of the things I did was upside down underwater windmills in the Bay of Fundy because of the tides, because there's constant and like capturing tidal motion. One of the other things I did was, how waves are like constant issue when you're on the boat. What if they were pushing little cylinders up and down, little floating cylinders, and those were sliding on a magnet, and they were charging the battery in the boat. It was like a hybrid boat.
Both.
Yeah, those things both exist now.
Yeah.
And the other one I came up with the helicopter restaurant, where you want the best view of the city, so you go up in like a Chinook helicopter and have like a catered 5-star dinner in
possibly
a
go
helicopter,
wrong?
like a big.
Yeah.
Well, ask that, but that exists now.
Yeah. People have too much
Now
money.
the fourth one,
I just wanted
the fourth
blinds
one
that work.
doesn't exist yet. I saw a niche. Jewish people and Muslims may have a
Fake foreskin.
curiosity about pork, but they. Well, that too. Yeah, no, I was going with the meat route,
Oh.
but sure,
Yeah.
that too.
Sorry.
Um,
Prosthetic foreskin.
anyway, I was thinking about the pork product, and I was like, what if you made a simulated pork product and you called it Abraham
Jeez.
because it's kosher, but it's Abraham.
Well, basically,
That doesn't exist. That one never came through.
It kind of does exist in Disney World. Those turkey legs that are brined instead of like.
Yeah, it tastes exactly like ham. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Was the turkey legs at Disney World.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought of, but never made the cut, was Hebrew, like Hebrew. But the
Jacob.
brew is a kosher. Oh, Jacob, kosher craft beer.
Yeah. Well,
Hebrew
is beer
but,
not kosher?
well, I don't know, but yeast. I think the yeast is an issue.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is. Who knows?
But-
I mean, why
But
not create a
I
problem?
thought that would be a
doesn't exist?
great name. That would be a great name for a brew that's specific to our Jewish
Well,
friends.
you
But,
can add another fake one,
okay.
and that's
hear me out here.
Oh yeah.
That exists.
Oh, Hebrew.
When I checked, it exists already.
Yeah,
Hebrew.
It won't be kosher. It'll be like
microbrewery is
"Hey, brew.
already a thing.
Hey, brew. It'll be like New Zealanders.
Like, hey, bro.
Hey, brew.
Yeah.
What's going
Hey,
on?
bro.
You got any?
In
Fish and
Australia, we share them. I ain't sharing
I
this
ain't sharing
baby
this
with
little
anybody.
baby with nobody.
That's a joke about screwing a sheep. Just
You can add
bring
this
our
one
listeners
to the
up
list,
speed.
which is bidet sales for Australia, made in Australia, called
Yeah.
Bidet Mate.
Bidet, mate. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could also capitalize on Australia being like on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know,
Make sure you clean your down under with bidet, mate.
that's perfect. That you know what? You could sell that in North America. The Land Down Under was a popular song by Men at Work. In
Bidet, mate. Wash your down under.
Bidet, mate. It's for your down under. My
your
Australian
ass
accent
stink?
sounds like a criminal.
Have you got a stinky sphincty?
Sticky sphincty. Leave it to us Aussies. I mean Aussies.
Bidet, mate.
Bidet, mate. I had a interesting. We haven't done a cryptic corner in a long time.
Right.
But there was an interesting news article. I believe it was on
The Onion.
Vice. No, Israel.
Israel.
But these guys were Israel. These guys were doing a Vice episode about a kayaking trip on Loch Ness, and they did drone footage, and then it showed the drone footage, and lo and behold, there
she blew.
there was a Loch Ness monster.
Do you reckon? I reckon there would be so many tourist traps there where they've got like Nessie painted on a wooden plank or something that they just keep submerged, and then they're like, oh, and now we're going to drive by Loch Ness, and they pay some kid 15 cents to go and pull up the little plank every 2 hours when they drive by.
I don't think you know what I honestly, the thing that they showed in that video, now the video is probably it's probably a forgery.
Yeah, keep in mind that
But the thing
20
that they
years ago
showed-
they could make orcs.
Yeah, they can make orcs. The thing that they showed looked an awful lot like what's the dinosaur called? Pleista something or other. Anyway,
Saurus.
it's this water dinosaur with flippers. I don't know, and a long neck. Could be.
Maybe.
Could be. It'd be interesting if that was the one place that dinosaurs continued to exist was a lake in Scotland.
Yeah.
Sure, I would have thought somewhere warm.
No.
But
Well.
I'm not a dinosaur.
No.
So there you go.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, Cryptic Corner. There you go. There's some footage.
there you
Look
go.
it up.
3 years
New
down the
footage
line,
of
we
the Loch Ness
brought it
Monster.
back.
We brought it back.
Still rubbish.
There was the beaver eater. It's a rich seam of material for the podcast.
The flying quiff of Quispamsis.
I believe we made up that actual cryptid.
Oh, like most cryptids. It's just that was ours.
It's make believe. We did talk about the Mothman. You have to really delve deep into the catalog to those episodes where I don't think anybody. Does anybody listen to these? I don't know. Like, if we're being honest, we've been 3 years at this podcast, and I play it at night sometimes so that I'm able to sleep because I like the sound of voices, and I know that nothing surprising is going to happen. Fuck.
there goes your night's sleep tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. But realistically, I think Lisa probably listens to them. Rebecca Haskell might listen to them. Thank you, Rebecca. And a couple of my friends at work might listen to them, but I'd be surprised.
I'd
be
well,
surprised.
the fact that we're not making mint on this is a testament to how few people actually do listen to.
Sugar Bear Hair is.
What?
I'm trying to think of the podcast commercials I've heard. Sugar Bear Hair.
I mean,
it's for your hair.
we could be like
This is your friend Snoop Dogg.
in hindsight, if we ever did get a sponsorship from Amazon, we've got it covered. We're like, Audible's the best.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed this audiobook from Audible.
But that's not who sponsors podcasts. It's always these weird companies that you don't hear about anywhere else except for on the podcast. The ones that are really funny now. If you listen to True Crime Garage, you'll notice they haven't had a sponsor since the pandemic started. I don't look.
You don't look.
We'd be happy to sponsor your product, but
We're not
realistically,
reliable.
I don't think. I don't. Well, that if we had a sponsor, we'd make an episode.
Yeah, if we
I
had,
know that's
if
the
there
case.
was financial gain to be had,
Any financial
doing
incentive.
the age-old question of what's in it for me.
This is a lose-only situation for us because, first of all, we can talk about, if we talk about how we feel about things, then 99% of the time, all the liberal people we work with are going to be mad at us.
Yeah.
And then the one time that you've edge on the side of maybe being a little bit more liberal about something, your entire conservative listenership is mad at you.
Yeah. There's no
Can't win.
There's no win.
It's not like
when you're in the
there's no
Jake,
game.
when you're in the public eye like you and me, there is no winning.
Yeah, when you're a celebrity amongst the one listener that you have,
amongst the
you
pleb.
cannot win.
Do you remember when we were going through the drive-through and I called you a peasant, and the drive-through person thought that I was talking to her? I was like, "Get me a coffee, peasant," and she was
Yes.
like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure that I've consumed some snot." After that.
This coffee tastes like anus.
Not my anus. It's fresh and clean.
If only they
Thanks,
had
bidet mate.
bidet mate. I'm just going to wipe my ass and dip it in his coffee. Enjoy your drink, guys. Thanks for coming.
It's super fresh. There's no coffee in here. I open up the
Always
lid and
got
it's just a
time.
completely full tampon that's just absorbed all the liquid in my coffee.
just a tampon. It does bring up one thing that's always irritated the fuck out of me is commercials, where in the commercial the person who was paid to do the music for the commercial is singing extremely passionately about something that doesn't deserve any passion.
When my ass itches, I reach for Gold Bond.
The Tim's one. Always got time for Tim Hortons.
But listen
this-
to you talking about it. So
I know, but listen, it does stick in your mind. Like, Subway,
Eat fresh.
Eat fresh.
Oh, they don't do that here. It's just Subway, eat fresh. Or don't eat at all.
That's better.
Eat fresh or starve. You fucking idiots.
Yeah. Subway. You know you're stuck with it.
Subway. It smells like an armpit for the rest of your day.
Yeah. Subway. Who doesn't want to smell like Subway? When people would bring in Subway to work, I used to call it the taint
Oof.
because there was like this fucking smell that just tainted the whole
place.
When I worked at the foundation, it was the whole office. It was the taint.
Yeah.
And then later, I read a book by Douglas Copeland, and he used to call McDonald's the taint. And it's kind of similar, actually. McDonald's has a very distinct McDonald's smell.
Yeah.
I can tell when something's from McDonald's. But fucking Subway is worse.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the onions or if it's the bread that they're baking,
gotta be the
bread
onions.
that's made of yoga mats or whatever.
Yeah. it's gotta be.
Yeah,
gotta be.
Subway's got, and I still fucking eat there.
Of
I eat
course.
there all the
I
time.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what I want? Something gloppy with mayonnaise and
What's the juicy
really
fruit song?
unhealthy, but with some cucumbers in
The
it.
juicy fruit song was
Juicy
really good.
fruit is gonna move ya.
Yeah.
Take a whiff,
Gets
it
right
gets right
through
through ya.
Yeah.
Juicy fruit, the taste is
gonna
gonna
move
move
ya.
ya.
Yeah.
We're out of sync because we live on the opposite sides
Of the world. They don't have juicy fruit here either. So
It is weird that like I can talk to you. My speech goes to my satellite dish that then goes up to a bunch of satellites in the space, and then those relay presumably to some other satellites, and then it shoots down to Australia.
I know. Well,
And,
look, I mean, confession time. This whole time, I've just been really ashamed of myself, but I live in Mum's basement. I never moved out.
I've been working on the bidet mate since 2001.
It's going to take off.
But
It's
my
gonna
whole
take
idea
off.
involved a factory full of Chinese people watching a screen that showed an anus.
And it was the first.
But the satellite relay time is too slow.
Yeah. So
By the time they think they've shot the shit particle, the popcorn kernel, off your ass, you've moved, and now they're squirting you in the
yeah,
back of the balls.
look, there's been a
It's
lot of
very
lawsuits. A lot of drywall has been damaged. It's been a whole ordeal. My entire inheritance from dad.
We've
has-
stretched. I won't want to get too specific, but we've stretched a lot of scrobes. It's like a baggy sail. It's like a baggy sail in your pants.
Well, on that note, I will start the goodbye music. I've sent you the clip.
Actually, wait. Before you start the goodbye music, I got to tell you something. My mom's fucking dog. Look, you're a veterinarian.
Yeah.
This dog, I don't know what's wrong with it. It looks like its mother and its father were brother and
It
sister.
probably
First
was.
of all, its eyes are
First of all,
so close together, and it's got this weird forehead. It hangs out frontwards like a Cro-Magnon
Yeah.
man. It's the weirdest looking dog. I had a nightmare about it last night. It's a really strange looking
well,
animal.
look, Jake. Not
And
everyone
then-
can afford to get their dogs from Nicaragua.
That dog was free, I'll have you know. Look, my dog's she's a nice dog, but she's an ugly dog. So just like Mum's. But Mum's looks like ugly the way that Chuck from not Chuck. What was the guy's name from the Goonies with the one eye that was up and one eye was down?
guys.
Hey you guys. Yeah. Chunk. Was that his
No, that
name?
was the fat
no,
kid.
or was Chunk the kid?
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck. Her dog looks like the dog version of that guy.
Hey, you
Very nice.
guys.
Might save the day in the end.
What, I wonder,
but
what
she's
did that guy really look
so
like?
ugly.
Was that the same guy who played?
He was a football player. No, he was a football player.
Oh, right.
He was in real life. He was a football player, and he was a normal looking guy.
And the
with a
kid
mustache.
from Mask, that was a prosthetic as well, right?
Rocky Dennis, but that was based on a real guy with lionization.
Lionization.
Yeah, that's the term. I think it's a. Oh my God, I may have early Alzheimer's. I forget
It has nothing to
everything
do
these
with the
days,
drink.
but it might. It could be early alcoholic dementia. I'm
No,
just
I think
going
it
with
might
it.
just be-
You know what?
You're drunk.
Synchondroplasia. I don't know. It's where the sutures in your skull don't fuse or they fuse wrong. Anyway,
Neat.
something happens.
Right.
But yeah, no, we've had what the fuck was I talking about? Gertrude. Yeah. So this dog, as ugly as it is, it's a sweet dog. It's very nice. But I had her here last month with Mum, and the dog would go out and squat to take a shit. Couldn't have a shit, and it was going on for like 3 days. And finally, I had to look, and its asshole hair was all matted up and plugging its butthole.
Yeah, I've done.
I literally.
I've had to fix that before. Yeah.
I had to put canola oil on my fingers. I mean, I put them in a glove first. I had to, and then I had to canola oil the dog's ass hair enough to get it out of the way, and then put my finger up there and disimpact the dog.
Slippery digit.
I feel like I feel like I assaulted the dog,
You did.
but I think it would have died if I didn't
Well, you
do it.
don't-
You're like, yeah, you don't need to do that.
you just clip the hair away.
I couldn't clip it. It was full of shit.
Yeah,
it
I
was
know.
just
yeah.
like a turd.
Yeah, and probably grabbing for the old pube pube trimmers is not going to do the trick in that situation.
No, they can cut through. They can cut through hair, but they can't cut through that.
No,
I mean,
that's right. So that's at the
it was
at
like
the vet,
asphalt.
At the vet clinic. We have like these clippers that are pretty heavy duty for just such a situation.
Anyway, if anyone's considering dog ownership, just consider it again. Just go
down to the
solo.
zoo. Look at the yaks. Look at their assholes.
Yeah, there are worse things.
And think,
There are
do
worse
I want
things
that in
than
my
being
bed?
lonely. Oh my god, yeah, the fucking dog. Everywhere it's sat, I had to look around for shit marks. Jeez.
Right. Well, thanks for sharing. That was a good story.
Yeah. Well, see you later, weirdos.
See you next time, friends.
Uh-oh. I just cut off right now.